Wait, what is the name of this?
All right, guys.
Wait.
The name of this segment is To Move or Not
That's
to Move.
what it is.
Gotcha.
So welcome back to the MadGood Show. The MadGood Show. The MadGood Show. They say if you repeat things 3 times, you manifest it. And guess what? This show is here to stay. Either way, here you got Pete.
That's what I am.
This right here, he's back. And Jay here in the middle. So, to move or not to move, guys? What the hell are we doing?
I'm about to move you off your set. You touch my head like that one more time. You got some furniture moving in here.
Like straight by the uppercut.
Shout out to Shaq. You got some furniture
Anyway.
moving.
Punch you right in your face, man. I'm telling you what. Okay.
All right, we're going to be moving some furniture.
Okay, I got you.
I'm going to throw one of these chicken wings at your fat ass.
Okay.
Take it easy,
Anyway.
Asian from the future.
I know, right?
With the nappy hair.
That was an amazing comment. Like,
Thank
seriously, we still talk about it to this day. It's going to be legendary, and it's going to make it into our, 1-hour documentary.
Also,
Don't ever write that
we
again.
blocked you. No, I'm kidding.
No, but seriously, guys, to move or not to move? There's been some frank talk, trade talk, and who else would we include in a trade of maybe that nature? Would you include someone else? Also, who do you want to see us really go after?
Well,
Wow.
to be honest with you,
It's
man,
a loaded series of questions.
I know.
it was probably terrible to put me
Layers.
on this segment for the mere fact
Layers, like
I wouldn't
Photoshop.
trade anybody. Okay,
Why not?
No.
So you would not move.
No, I would not move.
So you're like
Frank
a dude
or
at the
Dots.
party that's just on the wall.
Yes.
Just like.
With the nappy hair and Asia from the future. Yes, that would be me on the wall. Yes.
All right, cool.
But no, all jokes aside, guys, I wouldn't trade anybody. Again, Frank, if he's got to be in the doghouse and fight his way out of it, so be it.
Yeah.
You know, I really would hate to give up on a guy like this so early. I know I said last episode we might as well cut our losses, but he's not hurting anybody on the bench, and I think he's taking it the right way. You know what I mean? He does feel like his back is up against the wall, and we did hear that there was a press conference and a couple of reporters asked him a question, and he responded all fiery, and there was some tension there. So he does feel the pressure. So I hope that creates a diamond from that. And with Dotson, I believe, I've said this on several episodes before, there's no way I'm trading this guy.
No way.
You can't give me, I mean, obviously there's a couple players in the league. I'll take, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, whatever. But we're not talking about that, okay?
Yeah, but like as far as
I'm
the
not
guys that are in
trading
question aren't going to return that kind of value for you.
No,
Right?
absolutely not.
Unless I see a model.
Exactly. That's basically, I mean,
Beyonce, J-Lo.
let's be honest. Because it's like, when you trade for a player, it's even better than cheating with a model. The model is like your new wife now.
Right, yeah.
It's even better, so
For
it's
the
just that much
moment.
more tempting. It's like, oh, our new
Guys,
center is Anthony
the
Davis. That's
moment.
interesting. All right, let's get back on topic.
Yeah.
Before
Now,
we digress.
Am I open to the Knicks
Explain this
organization
shit out.
trading to make the Knicks organization better? Of course I'm open to that. I think you'd be crazy to say like, no, we're not trading anyone. We're going to do this for 20 years and see what happens. That's
Point at
dumb.
me.
But at the same time, you have to realize we're the youngest team in the league right now. A lot of these guys that we picked up, second youngest, I'm sorry, being corrected off screen by our judges. We're the second youngest team in the league right now after I don't know who, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Jesus, the Suns.
We have so many. Oh, is that why they suck so much?
Yeah.
Now we have the second youngest team in the league. We have 3 rookies this season.
Yes.
We have rookies from last season coming out, right?
Yep.
We have a new organization, a new coach. All these things are brand new. And to already in the early stages of this whole process be like, oh, we got to get rid of this guy, we got to get rid of that guy.
Bro,
If there's any situation where you're like, okay, let's hold off on the trades and let's try to develop these guys, it's our team right now. And I'm with you. I really don't want to trade anybody. Am I open to trades if our management comes out with some crazy move where we're like, wow, this seems like a good move. I'm not going to be against it. I think at some point you got to throw your emotions out the window and make the right move for the team. Yes. But as of right now, everything's so new and fresh and young. Why are we talking about trades? We should be talking about development, rotations, free agents, things
There's
like that.
There's consistency there, and I love the fact that I'm in the middle between you guys, because honestly,
Me too.
yes. Hey, get your
Hey, we said we'd leave this alone, okay? Not on this episode, guys.
I love the fact that I'm in the middle in between both of you guys. Because
You want to tell it one more time for good luck? You say things 3 times, they come true. Like we said, right? Go ahead. You want to tell them how much you love being in the middle?
Jesus.
Don't Jesus me. Jesus yourself.
Rotisserie chicken action.
Oh my God. I told you there's gonna be some furniture moving in here. Oh my God.
I'm open to trading Jay. No, I'm kidding.
I wonder what we can get in return.
Not much. Not much. A black Doug.
Pick him up. Put him over here.
Hey, you're Black Doug. This Black Doug.
Shut the fuck up with that.
Oh, Lordy.
Oh man. All right.
You sound like you're kind of willing to make the trade for the right players or the right moment, right scenario. You just have loyalty beyond anything.
Well, for the meantime, yeah.
You just have sort of your blinders on.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think what we're doing right now with the consistency of playing all these different players, pretty much everyone has almost started except for 2 players on the team. We're building the value of these
3 players if you count Courtney Lee.
Nope. No offense to him, he's just been injured.
Gotcha.
Good point.
But no, seriously, we are building the value of these players.
Yeah.
Yes.
So someone like a Frank, like a Dame Dot. Dame Dot, with all due respect, yes, you can ball out, you are a pure shooter, but his value was not worth anything last year, and we've already built that. We don't need him to play that many more games to see whether he fizzles out. Or if we can kind of ride on the wave of like, oh my God, in the short time span, the short amount of games I've seen, wow, I didn't know he had that in him. Dude, you can build that up a little bit more.
To trade him?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I am so glad you're in the middle of both of us.
I am?
Because I am going to dish it out lovely for you.
Go
Jay,
ahead.
as I remember,
Yes.
you were highly against
Against what?
trading 4 out of 5 starters for 1 Carmelo Anthony. Those 4 starters who were on the up and up. Wilson Chandler, Danilo Gallinari, Timofey Mozgov, and Raymond Felton.
Sure.
Now, Danilo Gallinari was playing at his peak.
Yes.
Wilson Chandler was playing at his peak.
Yes.
And you felt like we got rid of them too soon. What makes Dame Dotson any different?
To be honest, I'm not holding Dame Dotson to the same.
Oh, come on.
That's one point.
Come
one
on,
point.
man.
Also, we're not trading legitimately our starting 4. We're not.
But wait.
The only thing we're really talking about trading here is someone like a Frank or a package of maybe Frank, Dame Dot, and a first-round pick.
So I'm glad you got into that.
That's
right?
the only way that I think a trade would make sense.
Okay,
If it's
well-
a package deal for a superstar,
Well,
because
perfect.
otherwise
Hold on.
you're
Perfect.
trading like
Perfect. Hold on, hold
low-level
on.
players for other low-level players,
Don't touch me.
and then you have to develop them anyway. You know what I mean? It's like, what's the point there?
Furniture moving here, moment second.
If you trade Frank right now for another like okay point guard that doesn't get much minutes, like what did you accomplish?
Okay, but
now
is
you
his
need to
value
develop
high?
that guy.
It's not that high. So you're really gonna have to package him in a complete package.
That's what I'm
and
saying,
a question
but-
that we got a lot via Instagram, Twitter, and
What's
even
the
on our
question?
stories
What's
and
the question?
DMs.
What's the question?
Fans wanted to know our take on John Wall. Now, we're talking about specific trades and a superstar player here, right?
Which this is one package.
Which this is
legitimately
one
that's being
package that would be offered.
offered.
Right.
Right.
A series of first-round picks. We were thinking about trading Frank, get a pick, to package, for John Wall. And first of all, don't believe any of the trade rumors, okay? They were just interest. We're not fans of these so-called trade rumors. We don't know who they're coming from. We're not sure the validity of these sources. So guys, take a step back. Don't worry about these trades.
Twitter
Sometimes
fingers.
we are going to talk about
sometimes
this
they come
hypothetical
true, so it's
trade.
Twitter
worth
fingers.
like addressing it. But
No, it's worth addressing,
not
but
written in
not
stone.
worth like
This is-
following through with it.
Pete was making a point earlier where he's talking about everything is like brand new, shiny. When you buy brand new things, you have a moment, a period that you can still return it. And by trading is my way of returning some of these things that we have that are
understand.
brand new.
That's
all
fair.
right? And I think we need
That's
to
fair.
take advantage of that in that maybe that 30-day period that you have. This is what I consider the amount of time we're giving to these players. It's the perfect sample amount for these GMs, for these scouts. I don't want to give them too much. It hasn't been too little. It's almost the right amount. Trade while it's high.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, but there's nothing on the market.
I'm not saying trade for John Wall. I'm saying trade while it's high. Because to your point, obviously talking about this specific scenario, I don't like John Wall's leadership. I don't think he's a leader, and I'm not going to be paying $40 to $44 million
Right.
to someone like that.
Right. Okay. In hindsight, we all know hindsight is 20/20 here. If I had known what we would be getting out of Jimmy Butler, I would say sure. We could package Frank. We could package such
Did I not say trade for Jimmy though?
You may have. In retrospect, yes, we may have traded for Jimmy Butler, and that may have been the right move. But John Wall, I just don't agree with. He's a great player, but he's never gelled with anybody on his team. He hasn't led them to, the second round of the playoffs. He's just been a numbers guy. And I'm not a huge John Wall fan, so that's going to be a no for me. Hopefully that answers your question. Guys, what do you think?
I said it's a no for me. I don't like his leadership, especially if I'm trading for a superstar type of player. I think you need to be a leader in the locker room. Please, somebody go open the door.
He did.
So, another good point to the whole Wall scenario
conversation like that.
Is the fact that his contract's going to expire.
Oh, did you just learn that?
Yes, I just learned that.
You must have been watching the MadGood Knicks show.
Yes, I'm tuned in.
A ball-dominant point guard like John Wall, whose work ethic was questioned over the summer when he came back a little overweight, or even a player like Jimmy Butler that's had some off-court, on-court drama.
Barbecues.
Those feel like very much like what old Knicks brass would do. I think we need more like leader-type mentalities on the team. Players that you feel like over time could get you to the promised land or even like deep into the playoffs. And right now, I don't see any of those opportunities. I think we should work towards making the Knicks attractive for free agents. Develop our young core right now.
Fizz was trying to sell it to Kyrie.
Don't trade away draft picks. I feel like that's a bad move.
I agree with you.
Because you see over the last couple of years how teams have developed with draft picks and have made huge strides. So for me right now, it's develop the team as is, see what we can do in the future.
I agree.
As far as like picks go, and just stay away from these nasty like John Wall, Jimmy Butler contracts.
You stay away from this team, all right?
I love those guys. I respect their talent. I just feel like they wouldn't be the right fit.
I will say this. I don't think there's any validity to the John Wall rumors. Guys, we could drop it. But if there is any validity to it, I would worry because that must mean the Knicks don't think they can get who they want in free agency if they're willing to take a gamble on a player like John Wall now. If I was to gamble, let me just throw this out there real quick, I would go after Kemba Walker. I love Kemba. Kemba, come home, bro. But I also think he's a Michael Jordan guy, and Michael Jordan will never part with him. Michael Jordan loves that kid.
Because it's the only right decision he's done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Besides, like, buying a team.
Hopefully that wrapped it up, guys.
Every shot.
We'll be addressing any rumors and non-rumors later episodes. Peace.
Bye. Sorry for the interruptions.
No, don't apologize.
Hey, we're not on that show.
What show?
Sorry for the interruption. Oh, yeah.
What's going on, guys? This is the MadGood Stock Watch, where we could buy a player. That means we think he's going to continue to get better. Could sell a player. That means we think he's going to get a little bit worse. Not necessarily trade, so everyone chill the f*** out. Or we could hold him, and we think that he's gonna be steady the whole way through. All right. So my first guy, Trey Burke. I'm gonna hold him because I'm not seeing that consistency yet, but I do love the energy that comes off the bench with Trey Burke. So we're gonna have a hold there. Frank Ntilikina, I had him last time, and I was selling him last time. That has unfortunately not changed. I'm continuing to sell him. Obviously, he got a bunch of DNPs, but got a little bit of hope. Doesn't mean I want to trade him, but I'm still going to sell him because I don't see him getting much better in the foreseeable future. And then Emmanuel Mudiay, I got to keep buying him, man. I'm rooting for his success, but I did not anticipate that he would be the go-to guy. I'm still trying to figure out if that means the Knicks are in good shape or bad when Emmanuel Mudiay is the best point guard we have. Could be wrong. El Goto. That's my stock watch.
Buy, hold, sell. This week, I tried to switch it up a little bit as far as my stock picks go. I'm going to buy some Kevin Knox. I think he's starting to come out of his shell just a little bit. Had some big games, had a really big game against the Bucks. I think that was his coming out party. He's showing me a little more patience and poise. He's showing me a little more aggression. He's showing me more confident shooting. It's not day and night, but he's going in the right direction. So if he were a stock, definitely buying because I think that's on the up and up. I'm going to hold Mudiay. I think he's been doing as well as he's done in his entire career. So that's something to keep an eye on. So I'm going to keep him around, see where this is going, keep this stock. I kind of like where it's at now, so I'm going to hold. And selling, I know this is going to be a little strange because you probably can't sell the coach, but I'm going to sell my Fizz stock just because right now I'd like a little more transparency on what's going on with the rotations. Why is Frank not playing? Why did Burke not play for a while? Why did Damyean Dotson not play? And the offense has kind of not been that impressive to me, so I'm selling my Fizz stock a little bit for now, but we'll see how that goes. You know how the stock market is, so that's my choices.
All right, guys, so buying, keeping, and selling. I'm gonna have to stick with my man Cantor. He's a double-double machine. There's no words to express my gratitude towards him as a Knicks fan, so I'm just moving on from the buying part. Holding, I'm gonna have to go with my man THJ. Think about it, $72 million, 4 years, 15% trade kicker, and a player option. Now, that price, I think his production equals that price. I think it's good for that price, but the thing is that if I have a price tag that high for that long and give him a player option, I would expect from THJ to make the players around him slightly better, his assists to be higher, for other players to rely on him. So the fact that we aren't able to kind of squeeze that out of THJ is slightly disappointing, so that's why I'm kind of just keeping him. And for selling, no one has said it yet, but I'm gonna have to go with my man Ron Baker. I've been such a fan of his when he was on Hornacek's regime, if you will. But the fact that this guy signed a 2-year, $9 million contract and has a player option, I think that Ron is, he's averaging 4 minutes more per game, 1.5 points more per game. And even though it's not that much of a difference statistically, it feels like he's not producing as much more in the court. I think he'll thrive on a running gun type of offense, a D'Antoni Hornacek type of offense. I just think the fact that he's under a Fizdale's regime right now, I don't really see him progressing or thriving, so that's unfortunate. That's what I gotta say.
What's up, guys? We're doing another stock watch here. I'm back. I want to sell my man Mario Hezonja. I am tired of watching him in the starting lineups. I think David Fizdale has overhyped his defense. I don't think it's been that serious. He's been committed to defense, but I just don't think it's to the point where we should keep running him out there in the starting lineup. I am going to buy my man Damyean Dotson. I haven't spoken about him a lot, but prior to this last game, in a 4-game stretch, my man was averaging 18 points off the bench and shooting 65% from 3. Don't we need shooting out there, 3-and-D guys? Doesn't that sound familiar?
Yes.
He should be out there over Hezonja. Selling him, buying Dotson. All right, last person I'm gonna buy is my man Kevin Knox. We had the pleasure to meet him the other day and speak to him in an interview. I love the kid's makeup. He's a very humble kid. Right after his career high, he talked to us like, there was no up, there was no down with him. It was very even keel, and I love that. I think he has a perfect makeup for New York. I know he didn't replicate that game the next, but I'm buying on my man. I think he has a lot of potential and a lot of big games coming soon. Later, guys.
So we're buying, selling, and holding. I'm gonna have to go back to a few weeks ago when I decided to sell Kornet. I still stand by that. One of the reasons being, the most obvious reason being, the fact that we want to keep Alonzo Trier. We have recently found out from someone coming back from the future that's a little bit more complicated than what it should be, but I think Kornet may be a first step. Now, I want to even it out a little bit, and I like to spend, so I'm gonna buy. And I'm going to still buy, whether people agree with me or not, some Super Mario. Yes, I'm the only person still buying on Hezonja, as I'm getting thumbs down from the crew. The only reason I'm continuing to buy, only because there are other things he can do and other facets to his game. Consistency has always been the issue, but the talent has always been there. In terms of holding, who am I gonna hold? I'm gonna hold on to a little bit of the Moody way. Yes, I'm gonna hold on to him for now. He's been playing incredibly well. Hopefully he continues with that consistency. I love the fact that he's now on 1,000 in terms of confidence. We need to keep that going.